Victor's perspective. I listen for the sound of the door sitting behind me as we stride away, down the access stairways. I hear it. If they're opportunists who are just looking to take anything that isn't nailed down, she should be safe. What's this distracting gnawing in my stomach? Did I eat something that didn't agree with me? I really can't afford to be compromised like this right now. Doesn't adrenaline usually fix distracting normal bodily function signals like this? You never feel tired, hungry, thirsty, poorly, or like you really just need to pop to the loo when your adrenal gland is being tipped out on your nervous system. Is it going to cause problems that I've revealed exactly what I think the pecking order is? Is Cookie going to resent me putting him last? Is Toon going to be insecure about going after Samus? Toon's smarter than either of us, but I need a clear head in charge. Toon's still a bit green. Whatever. That's a problem for Victor to address. If he survives. Right now, I'm not Victor. I'm Acting Commander. As we reach Deck 1, I consider jumping the railing to get the last 5 meters to Deck 0. And the low gravity wouldn't injure me. Toon and Samus would follow. Best not. One of the untrained deputies might roll an ankle or crack a tail vertebrae. Or take the stairs. We reach the lowest deck and begin walking rearward, with the starboard section looming to our left and the central section looming to our right. Toon and Samus are beside me in tie formation. The others are looser, but have all instinctively fallen in. Has anyone ever killed a sapien before? I ask, raising my hand. I glance behind me. My hand and Samus's are the only ones in the air. Has anyone ever killed a human before? My hand goes down, hers stays up. Any advice? Don't hesitate, she states, her gaze not shifting from her line of fire. Good advice, I say simply, revealing my foveal focus to the green speckle pattern that my shotgun is projecting into my field of vision, via my translator to indicate what it's currently aimed at. Blue is a terrible colour for emergency lighting. I know I can't expect the rest of the galaxy to share my colour to danger sensibilities, but how did a plurality of species settle on blue as the danger colour? Blue is the colour of pretty things like sapphires, earth sky, earth seas, the moon's Raquel, Fluffy, 5 of the 8 Merklets. Toon. There's her stomach gnawing again. What the fuck is that? I glance behind me to check everyone's armaments. Samus has her assault rifle held at a 45-degree downward angle in front of her. Her plasma broadsword is slung at her hip. Mage, Cookie, Hassie and Mouse all have abysmal trigger discipline, but it doesn't particularly matter. The crew are all whitelisted, so we don't need to worry about friendly fire. I'm definitely going to need to give them a non-optional firearm basis course, though, if we survive this. Toon has 4 handguns currently arranged just below the centre of her field of vision. She's a wizard with those. I've seen her unload 100 rounds in 6.3 seconds and not miss a single time. I've watched remotely as she wheels and dances in great spinning arcs of muzzle fire during moving target practice. Let's just check she has 4 plasma daggers attached to her hips. Can't forget myself. Plasma falchion, check. Ammunition pouch, check. Shotgun, check. Loaded, check. Safety off. User ID light, illuminated, all good. Do we have time to put on our uniforms? Probably not. The extra protection would have been nice. I should print some uniforms for the other 4 in case this happens again. Or I should get Toon to do it, or Mouse. They're both better with the nanoforge than I am, and Mouse is an engineer. Perhaps I could consult. Fuck. This is my fault. I shouldn't have been so fucking coy about the shortcut. I'd advise against it, Cap. I prefer the clear lanes, Cap. By the time I even brought up pirates, there were pirates minutes out. We might all die. If we do, it'll be my fault. Fuck. To cuck. She's going to die before she hatches, and it'll be her godfather's fault. Perhaps. It really is bad luck for all quality to tell. No. You're blaming Cap. Stop that. This is your fault. That gnawing... Oh. I recognise it now. That's fear. It's been so long. Plucked off the street at 16, thrown into a training course that probably put me among the most dangerous 10,000 sapiens alive, and then turned loose in a galaxy made of cardboard. I haven't felt proper fear in years. Why not? It just felt like a swashbuckling sci-fi fantasy adventure. I was invincible. Did I not care if I died? Probably not. I love Kat, but some part of me always suspected that, if I shuffled off the mortal coil, she could shrug and go get another SO from the pipeline we pioneered. I don't think that anyone... I've got stuff to lose now. Hassie, Cookie, Mouse, Mage, Samus, the Merklets, Fluffy, Cap, and Toon. Knowing now what the gnawing is, I squash it. I could be scared for my life, when I'm alive. I could be sorry later. Take your own advice, Acting Commander. Those feelings aren't helpful right now. We reach the door to the loading bay. I identify the place I want us to take position and indicate the formation I want us to take. I tell the deputies to take the Weaver stance, then have to explain what the Weaver stance is. Like me, non-dominant side leg forward, dominant leg back and cocked, knees bent, gun at eye level, aim down sight, don't lock your elbow, non-dominant hand steadying for breath, tuck your elbows in. Was it the right choice to deputize them? Yes. As I said, they might have to fight anyway, and it's best to meet the borders with overwhelming force. Fuck. I really hope these are just some hotshot Fredians or Cuauhtemoc or something. I really hope they step off their body ramps, see 5 humans, a Don and a Sahas pointing guns, that will shatter their bones from the recoil if they try to use them, throw out their arms and ask us to escort them to the brig. I really hope it's not. So close to Terran space. It probably is. I see the ship approaching through the transparent boarding ramp. My doubt vanishes. It's certainly not a Terran ship, but those modifications. After I learned about the stereotype of Terran engineers, I went away and researched it. No guard model would modify a ship like that. Then, what the fuck? My aiming reticle disappears. I check my indicator light and ammo display, both dead. Something else is wrong, but I can't quite put my finger on it. There's some sort of absence. What is that? Guys, I'm going to test my firearm. Don't be alarmed if you experience a gunshot. I point my shotgun at the ground in front of me and pull the trigger. A click. And nothing. It's bricked. Fuck. Analog firearms should have insisted. Victor, I think there's... I whip my head to Mage. He has an accent. I'm hearing English, but he has a Swahili accent. Why does he have an accent? Accents are the kind of thing that the translators compensate. My hand goes to my temple. I pull off the button-sized translator and examine it. Dead. It's dead. So are we. The Qual's perspective. I pace up and down the hall of Triple M. Requali don't pace. This is a Terran stress reaction. Why don't Requali pace? I guess because, as flyers, if we're in a place that's stressing us, the natural thing to do is fly away from it. Can't do that in space. Can't do that in a locked dorm. My eyes are fixed on the security feed of my brave knights advancing to meet the pirates. I know that humans are obligate omnivores. While they have an evolutionary history as persistent hunters, they never survived exclusively on meat. It's just hard not to perceive 7 carnivores, 5 of them being hypercarnivores. That poise, that alertness, that control. No creature with those attributes has any business tucking into a salad. No. That's veteran Tequal talking. That's the Tequal who gorged talon marks into the floor of her fighter in rage, as she watched 3 human fighters swoop in and decimate her squadron of dozens. They're gentle beings. All the strength of the universe and intelligence to match, and still happy partying in their dorm and discussing their films with their 4-eyed Secretary Berg captain. Miyazaki could have made them emperors with a word. She didn't. I bumped into a wall for the 5th time. I don't have their peripheral awareness. I'm sure a Terran could look at their holo, pace, and not bump into walls. My eyes are glued to the screen as the definitely Terran-crewed ship appears through the clear hatch ramp window of the loading bay when the feed cuts out. My holopad pings me. I answer with sinking horror. Computer? Captain, for the last 12 seconds the Bright Plume has been engaged in a digital battle, presumed to be initiated by the boarding ship. Why is she pausing? We're losing, Captain. They've already suborned counter-boarding defences and PA systems. They left atmospheric containment fields alone. It seems they are no more interested in vacuum exposure than you are. However, they also have an interference field engaged. The back half of the ship is enveloped. The result is that the holopads, electronic weapons and translators of the security personnel and deputies can be inferred, with near certainty, to no longer be functional. I would take a moment to process all of that, but that's a moment we don't have. Why would they deploy an interference field? That would also lock them out of their weapons and translators. High likelihood of them sharing a natural language, thus having no need for translators. High likelihood that they possess overwhelming numbers and or analog firearms and intend to use those superiorities to force a surrender. Analog firearms? Victor said they would be better. Fresh out of SO training, I was shopping for firearms for him and I didn't listen. Fuck! What can be done? Plan of action available, Captain, but there are obstacles. Tell me the plan first, then tell me the obstacles. The attack has not affected the nanoforges. High likelihood that they believe them to be of no strategic value. This is false. If you place your holopad in one of the nanoforges on this deck, it can be modified to be able to nullify the interference field. That sounds simple. What are the obstacles? The range will be limited, Captain. It would only have effect within about 20 meters of your holopad. Alright. So I'm just going to put my holopad directly adjacent to a fight between Deathwelders. No big deal, I say, heading to Dwan's room and standing beside his nanoforge. I'm followed by a now mute Sam. The second obstacle, Captain, is that you can't be let out. This time my brain needs a moment to catch up. What do you mean can't be let out? Captain, as limited sentience AI, the ship's control unit is currently interdicted from disobeying a direct order from the one currently in command of the ship. You have been temporarily relieved of command and ordered confined to current location. The acting commander is beyond contact. Therefore, you are unable to be released. You will be required to find another way out of this storm. You want me to... What? Dare through 5.5 centimeters a sheet metal door? Not even if I were a Terran! I scream. Captain, this plan has a 27.8% chance of success. That is the most promising of all potential courses of action, by quite a long way. Please place the holopad in the nanoforge so it can be modified, a process that will be completed in approximately 3 minutes. It is agreed that you escaping the storm is ideal. Workarounds can be considered in the meantime. In disgust, I throw my holo into the forge, which buzzes to life. I step back into the hall. Sam follows me. I give him a scritch as I think. He barks, meaninglessly, at least to me. I walk up to the door and, experimentally, scratch it with my talons. No visible damage, not that I thought there would be. There's a proposal in the GU's parliament right now to legalize full sentience AIs. If this attack had happened this time next year, I might have had her limiters removed. I could have removed her limiters regardless of its legality. If she was sentient, she could just open the door for me. A sentient AI is not bound to follow orders. Now, 2.5 kilograms of glass bone nothing has to figure out a way through plus 100 kilograms of dorm door. Not with an infinite supply of talents, not with infinite stamina. Not with all the time in the world could I bend this door to my will. I freeze. I couldn't, but... I turn to face the common room door. I know someone that could.